What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I have had some requests recently come to my attention about getting higher and better quality leads for yourself and for your clients. So, if you're someone that's ever struggled with, if your clients have ever told you, hey, these leads suck, or hey, I'm not converting anyone, or if you've ever noticed that just inside your own business is that the leads that you generate aren't converting, or that you can't get in contact with them, I am going to solve that issue for you today. So right now we've got a couple different places where this video is going to be going. It's going to be going live. It's also going to be on some replay channels inside YouTube, Instagram. So wherever you're at, if you're doing me a favor, and if you are watching this on a platform, if you could just comment down below, let me know that you're in, that you're tuning in with me. That would be awesome. And then in this video, I am going to solve those issues for you for good, because it sucks hearing that these leads suck. And if you're a lead gen business owner and you provide leads for somebody else, you have definitely heard this a couple of times. And if you haven't done it enough, because trust me, when I first got started, that is what I was told constantly. And like, I had an ego problem, to be honest with you. And I was like, you guys just don't know how to convert these leads. Like, how many of you guys have ever said that, like, to a business partner, a friend, or like, our business owners or our clients just don't even know how to convert these leads? It's like, that might be true for some of them, but a lot of them, it's just like the leads just suck. And we're going to fix that problem for you on today's call. So if you're excited for this, let's jump into it. I actually created a ebook on it that I am going to just share my screen and walk you guys through. So at any point, if you want this, depending on where it's at, if you're on a live, just comment ebook and I'll make sure someone on my team sends it over to you. If you are on like a landing page or YouTube or Instagram, just either comment down below or check out for the link. The link will probably be down depending on where you're watching this as well, and you can just grab it. So let's just jump into sharing my screen. And if you guys are live on here, give me a hashtag screen so I know that you can see my screen down below. But here it is: the untold truth about lead generation, the 4 strategies to get your client ROI results, and more importantly, get you understanding how to generate a high quality lead. So if you guys don't know me already, my name is Justin Saunders. Depending on where you're watching this video, there should be a lot of other videos where you can learn a lot more about me. But real quick, over the past 5 years, I've spent, this number needs to be updated, millions on Facebook ads, specifically for lead generation. And I've learned quite a bit of strategies that I want to share with you. And I'm going to cover them on this video. We're not going to go over every single page. I'm just going to kind of like, side note it and give you the real raw sauce, because that's what I like to do. And as you can see, this is a beautiful cartoon picture of me right here. So at any point, if you're watching this, you want to get some more information about what we do, our more updated site right now is www.prospectingninjas.com. You can still go here if you'd like, htfreedom.com, but go to prospectingninjas.com and you'll get some more info about what we do. So what is lead generation? I'm not going to go into too much detail on that for the sake of this video, because if you're watching this, you probably already understand what lead generation is. It's basically you're driving traffic to a landing page to collect information of someone that's interested in your services, and then you are generating that as a lead. There's a lot of different ways. You can give it an offer, a free lead magnet, some sort of service. There's tons of different ways to generate leads, but we're not going to cover that in this video. We're going to cover, more importantly, how to get higher quality leads for your business and then also your client's business. So first things first, step 1, you've got to ask. And if you have a client that you're generating leads for, you need to ask them and break it down to understand what they want. Every business is different. I've worked with tons and tons of businesses online, and every business owner is different. I've had people that wanted to play the numbers game. I've had people that wanted to play the quality game. So it's like, and when I break this down into this video today, it'll make more sense. But you got to ask either yourself what type of leads you want, or you got to ask your client what type of leads they want. So let me grab this drink real quick, and I'll go through this. I go to the gym a lot, so I'm like always naturally dehydrated. So if you ever see me on videos, I'm probably always got like water. And I've recently kind of fell in love with drinking water out of a straw. I don't know why. You can judge me for it later, but the show must go on. So step one, ask. Just like every client is different, you must treat every client like a fat kid loves cake. Like every client is different. You got to really understand what they want, and then understand like this might not be the best example, but like a fat kid loves cake. Like you got to understand every fat kid that likes cake is going to be different. They like different cakes. They like different textures. Maybe I could have done a better example there, but you get the point. Is you got to figure out what exactly you want to go for. And that might change as time goes. In fact, it probably should. So step two, dominate. Look, I'm not going to read this word for word, but the point being with this is you guys are in a space, if you run a marketing agency, where everybody does the same thing. And if you ever watch any of my masterminds that I give out, I always talk about how you have to set yourself apart from everybody else, right? And one of the best ways to do this is by creating your own IP, intellectual property. This is how you're going to set yourself apart from everybody else. So how do you create an IP? It's simple. Come up with your own strategy based on what I'm about to share with you inside this ebook, and then it will help. So here's an example of one of the ones that we created in the healthcare industry is the patients on autopilot system. Now, real quick, it's important not to copy or mimic someone else's IP. I had somebody, I'm not going to throw any names out there, but it's okay when you're in the coaching space, like it happens all the time. But like when you put something out there and then somebody immediately copies it word for word, your exact ad copy and everything, like get creative is what I'm saying, because not going to go into much detail on it, but if you end up doing that, you're not going to get the same results as somebody like me, right? Because we have our own unique property. Like we create everything custom, right? So what I'm saying is you need to come up with your own unique strategy and then label it and brand it for yourself. So step three is implement. I'm going to share with you the 4 ways on how you can generate better ROI results for yourself and your clients. So real quick, as we go through here, I'm just going to walk you through. I'm not going to spend too much time on like showing you how to set up the ads, because that's what this ebook's for. So again, if you want it, I have a video. This video actually hooked up to a Loom video that will walk you through the actual ad setup that works. So depending on where you're watching this, again, if you want it and you're just tuning in, comment #ebook down below and I'll send it to you. Or if you're on a landing page or wherever you're at, there might be a link like right down below this video as well. And you can just watch this video and I'll walk you through it. So the first one is what I call the primary. Got to get my water. And the primary is the most basic lead forms of all, right? You're driving a Facebook ad to a lead form. You're collecting a name, email, phone number, and then you deliver the lead to your client. It's simple. Most clients aren't going to want this. Most people start off with this. If you guys have ever seen online, oh, we're generating the cheapest cost per leads. It's probably because you're doing the primary. And most of the time when people do that, they're not getting the best results. Again, most of the time, it depends on your client. I've had a client that we were getting them super quality leads, but they wanted to play the numbers game. And as soon as we switched it to this, I'm telling you, the one we were doing was super advanced. I'll go into it maybe another time. But once we switched to this, they loved it because they had a big team that just started calling all the leads and they made more money off of it. So again, it depends on your client. So just keep that in mind. The next is the industrious. I call this the high intent version of the primary. And a little side note for you, as you're going through here, notice how I'm creating my own IPs here. The industrious. No one else out there calls their lead gen strategies the primary or the industrious. Like that's me. That's our business. So I'm teaching you guys an IP address from us. So keep that in mind as you go through and build your business. This is really just the high intent version of the primary. See if I can zoom in a little. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Should have did this earlier. So basically what this is you have your Facebook ad traffic, wherever you're driving it from, to a lead form. And then on the lead form, you have 2 steps. Step 1, you collect their name, email, and phone number. Step 2, you do an urgency factor. If we zoom in right here. Oh, if we zoom in right here, you'll see one of the examples that you could use. So when I say urgency factor, this is on like the next page, and I'll show you an example in a second, but here's an example you could use and that we've used and it's worked well. So feel free to use it. But again, please switch it up to your own. If everybody copies the same thing, it's going to be the same result for everybody and won't work. So keep that in mind. Due to high popular demand, we currently only have 6 new patient specials available. To secure your voucher, make sure to click Save Voucher and schedule your new patient appointment before spots run out. And then once I click that, it takes them to either your client or your booking page, and then the lead is delivered. So basically how this looks, and here's a quick stat. On average, clients usually gain a 32% ROI by using the industrious. Here's the workflow behind it. And I just took screenshots of how it looks. So like step 1 on the lead form, name, email, phone number. Step 2, wait, your registration is not complete. And then we have that right there. And they have this button, Save Voucher Now. Again, we're telling them to click that. So they have an option to click it. Again, you can test a bunch of different things here. You can test send to a thank you page, or you can hit next steps, whatever you want, test it. This point being is just know there's like, it's not just you collect the information, you give them an option. And a small percentage, again, every industry is different, but a small percentage of the leads that actually come in, fill out their name and email and phone number, will then go and schedule. But where the real magic is when they schedule. And if you have like a good appointment setter, or somebody on the office or whoever your client is, like calling those leads and texting those leads, the ones that don't book, that's where the secret sauce is. Not going to go into that right now. If you guys ever want me to, just let me know. I've got some really solid trainings on that. Next, the Thelander. This is a process of generating higher quality quality leads. We have another one after this I'll share, but basically the Thelander is when you know the target audience and that the creative works. I always like to start, to be honest with you guys, I like to start with the industrious, because that way I can prove that my ad copy and the pictures and everything works and like my offer is good. And then once that works, then I'll, usually depending on how fast I can see results, I'll move it over to the Thelander. And the Thelander is basically exactly what you think it is. You're going to add a landing page to it. Too many times I see people, because when you move this, usually your cost per lead goes up. Sometimes it stays the same, sometimes it's better, but most of the time you'll pay more for this, and that's okay. It's okay paying for more expensive leads. Like I'd rather pay for higher quality leads than a bunch of leads that we have to waste time following up with. And it's just basically a landing page. As you can see, a little typo, page EE, need to fix that. But it's a landing page, and you collect their name, email, and phone number, and then you deliver it to the client. And the reason this is more quality is because on the landing page, and here, Facebook's even came out and said that they reward clients that stay on Facebook. So when they do that, if you've ever done it in Facebook and you do a lead form like we were showing you, the reason you get a lot of bad quality leads is because Facebook auto-populates their name, email, and phone number in there, right? So if you didn't know that, Facebook actually does that based off of like information they've done in the past or any other forms they fill out. So a lot of times people on Facebook have wrong numbers on there, or they have like old emails or old phone numbers. Like I remember I used to do that all the time. And like I don't know how, but like the old person that had my phone number reached out to me and is like, why am I getting all calls from you or something? Like wait, is this Justin Saunders? No, this is who? So. It's like, because my old phone number would populate in Facebook. And I did that as a test just to see how it would work. So that's why this is so much more intent, because they literally click on an ad that they're interested in, and then they go out of Facebook, a platform that they went on in the first place, to go look at more information and then sign up. So you have higher intent with that. A lot of times people overcomplicate their landing page. Honestly, keep it simple. I've added a couple examples down here. Simplicity is key. This is literally one for the healthcare. We're using healthcare for this example. And look how simple that is. Clean, straight to the point. Here's another one right here. Super simple. And again, if you're just tuning in or you're whatever, you want this ebook, there'll either be a link down below or just comment hashtag ebook and I'll send it over. You guys can go through it at your own pace. So the inspector, this is my personal favorite, because once you have, and I would highly suggest you don't just jump to the inspector. You'll want to test, like I mentioned before, you'll want to do the beginning process of this and make sure that the lead forms that you're doing work and convert. So the inspector is just like it sounds. You're going to expect these leads before sending them to your client. Now, this is a little bit more advanced. So again, you will be only sending high quality leads to your client. Like, this is the point where if your client goes, these leads suck, I can't get a hold of them. This is where you're like, all right, this is a secret sauce. Like, I know you can't call leads and you can't convert them, because I know this works, because I have 15 answers that your ideal client just answered and you can't get a hold of them. We got to figure out what's going on with your sales process. And you don't have to do 15. You can do, I'll explain in a second, but same process. Name, email, or they go from Facebook ad to a landing page. You collect their name, email, and phone number. And at this point right here, it's optional. It's optional if you want to send this information, this lead to them. Depending on how you sell your services, we used to sell these leads as well with this. But here's a real kicker with this, guys. After they fill out their name, email, and phone number, they are then going to a survey page. And you can switch this up a little bit if you like, but this is what's worked really well for us, is they go to a survey page after we already have them, quote unquote, bought in, because they already filled out their first information. And on the survey page, this is really where you get the quality leads. And this is where the magic sauce happens. Like, anyone that comes through and fills out a survey, like, they should be ready, as long as they fill out the right information. And you can really do ever many questions that you want. I recommend 5 to 12 at lowest 5. You could do more than 12. Just know the more questions you have, the more barrier to entry it's going to be. And these are going to be the ones that cost the most. So don't expect like the leads that you were getting here or any previous. Like, the way that I have this set up is the farther you go down with all this, the more expensive the leads are going to be, but the higher quality they'll be. So you ask them questions, and I'll show you an example here in a second, but after you ask them the questions, then you deliver that lead to the client. And like I mentioned, this complements Thelander by just adding a survey step before the lead is sent to your client. Here's a video explanation of it. I'm not going to show it right now. Again, if you want this, just comment down below or click the link down below and I'll send it over your way. I explain it all step by step in these videos. Now, here is the workflow behind it. I'll zoom in a little so you guys can see this. You can really have as many as you want here. These are just some examples. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hardly any pain and 10 being unbearable, how would you rate your pain? This gives, again, this is healthcare example. This gives them an example of, how urgent that they need this pain fix. And then here's just a bunch of questions. What type of doctors have you seen? What is the source of your pain? How did this pain begin? Like, I'm not going to read all these guys. You can come back and check it out if you want after. But that is basically like the overview of like some of the questions and how all of that looks. So I hope you found value in those ways of generating higher quality leads. I know it's helped me a lot, and it's something that, I always believe in life, like nothing, especially in business, you can always get better. So that's one of the things that we always practice and preach, is like that stuff works really well. But if you really want like the most, and by the way, if you want that, just comment ebook down below or click the link down below. We'll get that sent over. But if you're also somebody that's like wanting the most up-to-date stuff, because let's be honest, like that's an ebook, it's going to be there for a while, depending on when you're watching this video. We're in August 2021 right now, which is kind of crazy to even think about. The point being is, if you want to really take your lead generation skills to the next level and want the most up-to-date information, feel free to reach out. Depending on where you're watching this video, you can just reach out to me or book a call with my team to see how that looks. The easiest way is just go to www.prospectingninjas.com, and you can get some more information about what we do and how there's a video that'll be on the page, depending on when you're watching this, it might be updated. But the video that I'm talking about right now is the one where we talk about how we closed, how we closed 40 new agency clients in 90 days. And that was strictly organic. So pretty exciting stuff there. Actually, no, let me take that back. That was mostly organic. We had $1,000 in ad spend. So you guys can check that out if you want. But again, I hope you found value in this. The reason I want to do a lot of these things is just because I know when I first started my agency or my online businesses, it was, if I could just find one thing to get me 1% better, that would be it. And I hated sifting through all of the stuff that just didn't make sense and all the fluff out there. So like, that's what I want to do, is just give it to you guys real, like, this is what's working for us. Go implement it. It'll work. I promise you. And then after it works, let me know how it goes. But with that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you